Hi everybody. We're going to start the webinar about the SEMrush killer features for the third quarter. It's already time, and I think we can start, and the rest will join us in a few minutes. So during this webinar, I'll cover the most interesting, the most valuable, and the strongest new features and opportunities that appeared in the SEMrush during past 3 months. So it's the third quarter. And my name is Ilya Shuyskiy. I'm an engineer in SEMrush, and I will be providing this webinar for you. I'll start with a short question, with a short poll that I'm asking you every time when you come to the Killer Features webinar. So it's just a really simple question. I just wanted to guess whether you have already used SEMrush or you're quite new in this field. Okay, I see that main part of the audience have already used SEMrush for many times. Thank you. And now, of course, you can ask me questions. You can write them directly here in the GoToWebinar in the system, and I will see them and I will answer them or during the presentation or in the end, because we'll have time for your questions and my answers. And so what will be the scope of this webinar? We'll discuss new features. As you probably have seen on the webinar page on our website, we'll discuss the new competitors research opportunities that we have. Oh, sorry, I see that Sophie Sutton has some problem with the sound. Yes. Sorry, guys, would you mind to write whether anybody else has some problem with the sound, or you can hear me clearly, and you can see the screen and you can see me on the camera? That's okay. Sophie. So no problem. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Then we'll start. So we'll discuss new features in competitors research. We'll discuss new integrations that we have in our tools. It's integration with Majestic about backlinks and integration with Google Analytics in terms of backlink audit. So again, it's a new feature that we have. We have two completely new tools and new opportunities. One is for social media posting, and one is for content audit. We had already opportunities for making a content audit, but now we have a completely new feature. And some other quite interesting things that we have, which I'll present you during this webinar. So, okay, I'll turn off the camera so we can focus on the screen. And again, I hope that you can see it. So we'll start with the new opportunities in the competitors research that we have. I hope you already know that competitors research is one of the main tasks and one of the main features of SEMrush, and we have developed this opportunity because now we have added special competitors research and comparison in backlinks. So let's take a domain, for example. I think we can take hbo.com, for example, because I think many of you have already seen many series from HBO. And I will go directly into backlinks report. And on the first tab, on the overview, you already see that there is an opportunity to add a competitor. So we've added a new feature in Backlinks, and here you can find competitors and you can make a comparison between competitors in terms of backlinks. Why we think it's really interesting and useful? Because if you're not for example, so big domain as hbo.com, and competitors research in terms of organic or paid keywords is not so relevant for you. You want to find some local, more small competitors, then the backlinks is where you should go. Also, backlinks competitors are the domains that people think are close to you, because they put backlinks from the same referring domains on your domain and on some other competitor. So people think that you are close, that you are something quite similar, and that's why they put backlinks, and that's why we can recognize you as a competitors. So let's see what we have here on the first page. We suggest you already some competitors, and we can make comparison for different series channels. So let's click compare, and you see this is the list of 5 domains, and in each metric, in the number of total backlinks, referring domains, referring IPs, domain score, and trust score, there are different leaders. So NBC is the main leader for rest of the metrics, but in number of total backlinks, CBS.com is winning. And you also can see a chart for the last 3 months or a year in number of total backlinks, and you can see the comparison in backlink types for these 5 domains and in follow versus no follow links. This is the first, like, a comparison overview that we can suggest you here. And on this page you can see, like, in general, who is winning, who is losing this competition, you and some of suggested competitors. And if you want to make a competitors research, then you can go to the competitors tab. It's also a new tab that appeared during the 3rd quarter. And you can see the list of domains sorted by the competition level. So it's relatively the same that we have in keywords comparison and keywords competitors, but here we take into consideration referring domains. So you see that this competition level is based on the number of common referring domains and like in ratio to total referring domains. So nbc.com, abc.co.com, and so on, they are considered by our backlinks analytics as main competitors, because people put this backlinks on you, on hbo.com and nbc.com from the same referring domains. And I want to also show you some other opportunity that we have here, because let's compare, for example, 2 domains, hbo.com and nbc.com, and in addition to this overview comparison, we have this table that is loading right now. It's called the referring domains, where we can see which exactly domains are referring to your domain and to the competitor. So of course it needs to take some time, because we analyzing a lot. Oh, something happened, nothing found. Okay, anyway, even here, for example, if we're looking at nbc.com and number of common referring domains, we can click here, and it's relatively the same as we used in keyword analytics, for those of you who have used SEMrush already. And you see that we moved directly to the new section in the left menu that is called gap analysis, and we have 2 parts here. First of them is a keyword gap And here is the report that was called domain versus domain before, and now we call it keyword gap. And the second part is the backlink gap, and this is exactly what I'm describing you, the referring domains. And we see the list of referring domains, so with the domain score and trust score, and we see the number of backlinks to the first domain and to the second. So again, here, if we are making a comparison, we can see from which domain our competitor has a backlink and we do not have, for example. And again, we can add other domains here. So for example, let's add fox.com, and we'll get 3 columns for these 3 domains and see referring domains from there. So again, why we think it's quite interesting, because backlink competitors and backlink comparison, it's quite it's not the same as in terms of organic or paid keywords, because here we see backlinks, so that's what naturally people put to both of you. So in the beginning, of course, we have that the domains that put backlinks for all of them. But again, we can sort by the number of backlinks, export this data, so the same features that we have in SEMrush. So this is the first option that we've added in competitors research. It's comparison and competitors in backlinks, and new section gap analysis, where you can compare domains in terms of keywords and backlinks. Another new opportunity, new feature that we've added is for paid campaign, especially for display advertising. So let's take, for example, ebay.com, which has a huge display advertising campaign. So I can show you more features about it. So what is display advertising? This is the report where we analyze campaigns in Google Display Network. So that was made for display advertising from Google AdWords. And we analyze domain from 2 points of view, as an advertiser and as a publisher. So the ads that was published by ebay.com leading to ebay.com. And if we select the publisher, in this case, we see the ads that we found on ebay.com leading to some other domains maybe. So what new options are here? Because it's not a completely new report, but first of all, in this year, we started gathering display advertising by locations. And now we have already 28 different countries here. You see it. So for example, if you switch to Germany, then you'll find only ads. So select ads tab, only ads that we found in Germany. And a new option here is the period filter. So you can select, for example, last 30 days if you want to see only the freshest ads, the freshest adverts that we found, in this case in Germany for ebay.com, and then you got the list of these ads, and again the ad, the target URL, and the domains publishing these ads. So it's a new feature for analyzing competitors' display advertising campaign. We've added countries, already 28 countries, and we've added filter for a period, and this option is available only for highest subscription plan for business. For the first plans, Pro and Guru, you can see all the data together as it was before. So that's new options for competitors research in analytics part. But the most interesting part in SEMrush and what we developed a lot is projects. And we've added a completely new tools here. I will show you on the example of existing project, on the example of Decathlon.co.uk. It's a project for UK. First of all, we've made some changes in the tool names. I think you remember the tool that was called SEO Ideas. Now we changed the name to on-page SEO checker, because for many of our customers, the term on-page, it's quite usual, and they know what is on page and don't understand exactly what are the ideas that we were talking about. So on-page SEO checker is just a new name for SEO ideas. If you have used it before, it has the same functionality, and all the opportunities within SEO ideas is still here. The completely new tool that we've added in the project section is the social media poster. You see it has a label new. And this is the tool for social media specialists, of course, in pair with social media tracker, where you can analyze your and your competitors' social media campaigns. In social media poster, you can make posts. So let's look inside. You see here you see a calendar. So this is the days and the time here. And you can make posts. So for example, now it's Tuesday. Let's schedule a post on Wednesday, for example, at 12 p.m. And I'm clicking here, and I see the window to write the text. So this is a new post, for example. You can also use this option to search for different accounts here. You can add gifts and photos that we've already implemented here. And then you can save this post as a draft, or post it now, or schedule for appropriate time. And also we've added an option of adding post to queue. In this case, it will be posted automatically in the appropriate time. You see, it will be posted today, really soon, but not like we consider that this is a good time for my post. And if you don't know exactly when to make it, you can just add it to queue and it will be posted automatically. So okay, I will save it as a draft without the time. And as you see, you can make posts to Facebook and to Twitter. So you can connect another Facebook account. In this case, I will see only the accounts that I have an administrative routes to make the posts. Sorry, both for Facebook and for Twitter. So we've realized two social networks here, Facebook and Twitter. And we decided to focus first of all on these networks. Maybe we'll add Instagram in future, but not in the nearest future, because we have still something to add here. So what other options are in social media posters? You can make posts, you can schedule them, you can see the queue. So this is the queue and the time slots where you can add a post and it would be posted in this scheduled time. You can see the list of published posts, but I haven't made it from this tool. You can see drafts. You can see an analytics tab, which shows you what changes appeared on your target page within the last 28 days. And also there's an opportunity to add up to 5 RSS feeds here, and in this case, you see the limit is 5. In this case, you will see the freshest post from these RSS feeds, and then you'll get the ideas, for example, what to write. So imagine that you're making a post for Decathlon, for example, and you want to to be aware of the freshest sports events and news in the sports world. So in this case, you can add a feed. For example, let's add, let's add this one, espnfc.com/ oh, okay. Yeah, and you see the freshest news. For example, this is the feed about the soccer, and of course, if Decathlon makes soccer boots and sells it, then it would be interesting to, for example, write that Harry Kane carries Tottenham's hopes at Real Madrid, and maybe he's playing in Decathlon boots. I think he's Nike or Adidas, but anyway. So this is the place where you can see the trends, see the freshest news, get the ideas, and directly make a post using the social media poster opportunity. Of course, if you have any questions about the social media posters and other tools, just feel free to write them here. And I want to show you the other options that we have, new options that we have in project section. In addition to social media poster, we have added a completely new, it's not called a completely new tool, but it's a completely new feature. It's called the content audit. It's within the content analyzer. But here is the opportunity to make your website content audit. So I will click here. And in this case, we analyze your sitemap file, show you what sections and pages we found there, and you can analyze up to 20,000 pages from the sitemap. And here, what do we see? We see a list of pages that we found within different sections in your sitemap. And the main idea is to find which content on your website works better, which is more visited and shared and liked by people, by users and visitors, and which is not so good and probably needs for some improvements. So it's what we call a content audit. So what kind of information do we have here? Each line, it's representing one page with this URL. And you see the status code. You see some basic information as title, meta description, and header. And also, you see the number of shares within different social networks. We have Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and LinkedIn here. And number of backlinks put from these pages. And if we connect Google Analytics account, then we'll show you the information about the traffic. Fortunately, I don't have access to Google Analytics of Decathlon, but if I have, I would connect it here and see this data. So what is the workflow for this tool is to look at the pages, see which of them have not enough shares, backlinks, and traffic, and work with them. In this case, you can use this column workflow. So for example, if I want to work with this page, I can click here, say that this is in progress, for example, add task, for example, change picture, add a task, click apply. So and this is in progress, and when I finish, I just can click that it's done. Okay, then I finished working with this. So you understand which pages needs an improvement, or vice versa, which pages are really good and they have a lot of shares, a lot of backlinks, a lot of traffic. And in this case, you can look at these pages, analyze what attracts people, and use the same strategy on the others. So we really think that this is a good opportunity and good starting point for making your website content audit. And this option is here, content analyzer, and the first part is content audit. The post tracking is what we had before, so it's for analyzing your guest posts. When you make posts on another website and you want to understand how the people react on it. And for analyzing your website, this is the content audit part. Another quite interesting option that we've added, and I've mentioned it before, it's the integration with Majestic. Probably you know that we already have the integration opportunities with Google Analytics, Google Search Console, with Trello, and now we've added integration with Majestic because we understand that Majestic is they have really huge database of backlinks. We also have our backlink databases, and we understand that the more backlinks you know, the better it is to analyze them and to see the full picture of your backlink profile, because nobody knows everything. And we've made some researches and we investigated. Then there are some backlinks that we know and Majestic doesn't know, and vice versa. And even in comparison of Majestic, SEMrush, and Google Search Console databases, there are some discrepancies everywhere. So there are backlinks that we know and Google Search Console doesn't know, Google Search Console know, and Majestic knows, and so on. So anyway, with the more backlinks, the better it is. And for this opportunity, we've added in the Backlink Audit tool a new opportunity. I'm opening it, and this is, I'll just remind you that this is the tool to analyze your backlink profile to check whether backlinks leading to your domain are toxic or non-toxic. So that's how we call good and bad backlinks. And the first integration opportunity here was Google Search Console that was appeared before a few months ago, and now we've added two new options for Google Analytics connection and Majestic connection. So if you click here on Majestic, then you just need to write your access token for Majestic. So you need to be in Majestic, you need to have a Majestic account, otherwise you can't just take the backlinks without your account. We've added a short manual which describes you how exactly you should use it. It's quite simple. You just write a token here, and in this case we upload 10 backlinks per referring domain and 1 backlink per referring page, as we understand that there is a limit in Majestic because it will cost you some units, and also it's not really so important the number of backlinks as the number of referring domains, because Google takes into consideration the referring domains much more than the number of referring backlinks and these backlinks. So it's more important to know about domains than about backlinks. That's why we limited this with 10 backlinks, because it's really not so important to take more. So you just write your access token here, and we upload backlinks and use all the opportunities of SEMrush Backlink Audit. And as you remember, we have a list of toxic markers, which is a list of 37 different markers, and we analyze all the backlinks by these markers and suggest you whether these backlinks are toxic or non-toxic. Like what we mean: bad backlinks with high toxic score and not so bad. So this is the first integration opportunity, which helps you to get more backlinks. And the second option is integration with Google Analytics, which helps you to get more information about these backlinks, how it will affect your toxic score calculation. In case we see that the backlink, even if it has a really bad toxic marker, but it brings traffic to your domain, we'll take it into consideration and decrease the toxic score of this backlink. So if it's traffic bringing backlink, even if there are a lot of important toxic markers on it, we'll suggest you to leave this backlink and will not consider it as toxic. Because sometimes it happens that people from not really good domains, from maybe spammy TLD, but still they come into your website, and if it's a traffic, then we shouldn't delete this backlink. So this is the two options of integration with Google Analytics and Majestic that we've added in Backlink Audit to increase the number and the quality of backlinks and quality of audit of these backlinks in our tool, which I think is also quite important. There are other new features and opportunities in the tools, but if we'll try to focus on all of them, then of course it will take much more time than we have. And before I will focus on your questions, I just wanted to show you one more opportunity that probably some of you doesn't know at all, and I think it would be interesting. If you look at the top of website, you can see that we have an academy here. I will enter the academy, and it's not completely new, but we've added a new courses and new exams here. So now we have already 4 options here. 3 of them are the exams for SEO, for content, and for affiliates. And we've also started with adding a new courses. So this is the SEMrush certification for PPC specialists. And if you're working with PPC, that would be quite interesting for you. So how it looks like, we'll just show you. We have a course here which contains 3 parts, and we do 2 things. We try to do 2 things in this course. First of all, we teach you how to make a PPC, and it's firstly, and secondly, we suggest you which SEMrush tools and reports can help you with this. So in first part, for example, keyword research, we have domain analytics and keyword analytics section, and for each section we have a video, we have a reading materials, and we have a short quiz just to check yourself. And video is quite short, like here you see it's a little bit more than 7 minutes, and we have an amazing speaker, and we're showing you the correct and the best practices and workflows, how to work with different reports in SEMrush. So I highly recommend you to just to spend, it's less than 3 hours, and it will take 3 hours if you'll read all this information, and in other cases it will take less. Just go to this page, take the course, and you'll be quite familiar with SEMrush, and you'll get a lot of interesting insights on PPC also. So that's it about the basic and the most I can say biggest and the most interesting features that we've added during the 3rd quarter, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. I see the first question from Marco Ferrucci. Why the number of total backlinks don't match between domain analytics backlinks and project backlinks audit? This is a really good question. I'll explain what does Marco ask. He says that, for example, if we look at the number of backlinks here in backlink analytics, and if we look at the number of backlinks here in backlink audit, that would be different numbers. And in general, there are few reasons why it may happen. First of all, of course, you can connect here Google Search Console and you can connect Majestic. And in this case, we will analyze backlinks that are not in our backlink database that is here. This is the one reason why it might happen. And if you do not collect Google Search Console and Majestic, in this case, we analyze only our database, which is quite huge also. But it might differ because we do not take into consideration all backlinks that we have. We take into consideration up to 500 backlinks from each referring domain, and this is the same reason why we do so, as I mentioned about Majestic integration. The reason is that Google says that it's not so important how many backlinks do we have from each domain. It's important how many referring domains do we have. So in this case, we do not need to analyze all of the backlinks because it will take a lot of your time. You will have to delete thousands of backlinks, and it's really not so important. It's more important to analyze referring domain. And in this case, if we see that there are, we analyze up to 500, but if we see that there are a list of bad backlinks from this domain, and we can understand that this is a toxic domain, toxic referring domain, we'll suggest you to add this domain, for example, in disavow list. So the short answer is the number of backlinks don't match because we do not analyze all of them. In backlink audit, we do not analyze all of the backlinks from database because there is no such need. It's more fast and more useful to analyze referring domains. So I hope I've answered. So guys, are there any other questions that you might have? Just feel free to ask. Feel free to write them in GoToWebinar here. Otherwise, I will tell you a few words about our future plans, because really we have huge plans, and it will you will see what we add, because this as you see now in the SEMrush interface, you see that we have a lot of sections, we have a lot of reports, and sometimes it's a bit hard to navigate here, especially if you're a quite new user. And we're working on the interface customization. We sometimes will call it like SEMrush 2.0. And during the fourth quarter, during the last month of 2017, you'll see a new interface, so it will be changed a little bit, and it will be much more ergonomic and much more comfortable for you for using this interface. So just be ready that something will change, and it will be much interesting, much useful. And we also are adding some new opportunities with this option, with these new options and new changes. And of course, we'll make a course, we'll make a webinar about the new navigation and new opportunities here. But now just be aware of that there will be some changes in a good direction. Okay, I see another question. We have an international Facebook page. How can I see audience data by region? In this case, so if we're talking about the social media profiles and social media options that we have in SEMrush, then all the data that we have is in here in social media tracker. So let's see the opportunities that we have here. For example, we're analyzing Facebook, and as you said, and there is a list, like we called, where are these page fans from? So this is the place where you can find it, and you can also compare your page in different metrics with your competitors, see the trends of page likes and so on and so forth, and many other options here. And also, that's what you ask about the regions of the audience here. So it's just one small part of the reports and opportunities that we have here in social media tracker. Thank you, Rodrigo, for your question. So guys, maybe you have other questions. Marco, I see you have the opposite problem. You have less backlinks in projects than in analytics. That's what exactly I am trying to explain. That if you have in projects, in backlinks, less backlinks than in, sorry, so two options: one in projects backlink analytics, another in domain analytics. Here in backlinks. Why in projects there are less? Because we do not take into consideration all of backlinks from our analytics. Why? Because we understand that it's not really important. It's more important to analyze referring domain rather than analyze each and every backlink, because there can be thousands of backlinks from one domain, but it will take a lot of time to analyze all of them for you. It's better to analyze the whole domain, and for this case, we do not need to take all backlinks from this domain. That's the idea. Okay, very good. Debbie Fuller, I'm trying to set up position tracking, but it won't allow me to select country, etc. I think if it doesn't allow, Debbie, I recommend you to contact our customer success team, and they will help you, because of course in our project section in position tracking, there is an opportunity to select not only country, but even a region. And I'll also mention that in the previous quarter, we've added a multi-targeting option, so you can add up to 10 locations, countries, and device types in one project and analyze them simultaneously. Okay, very good. So, any other questions? Mark, I see that you got the response. Very good. And if I've already opened position tracking, then I'll show you, and I have some more minutes. I will show you a new tab that we've added here. It's called a featured snippet. You see it has a label new. It's just one of other small new improvements that we made. And in this tab, it was constructed specially for analyzing your feature snippet. In this project, there is no information about the feature snippet, so we'll try another one. For example, here. Yeah, here we have. So we can show you for which keywords are there a triggered feature snippet on a SERP, and we'll show you. So we call it the opportunities. So there are 10 keywords from your keyword list for which Google shows feature snippet, and we also show you your position if there is such position on if you are on the SERP, and we show you the difference. So how far it is from your position to the position where it was triggered, the feature snippet. You see you're on the 32nd position, and the feature snippet is on the 6th position, so the difference is 26. And so we suggest you to, we think that if you will improve your position and you will rank higher than this guy that got the feature snippet, then probably Google will show you as a feature snippet. So because for the keyword check keyword density, it shows feature snippet. Already featured, that's the keywords where you are already there. You see this crown. So it's the tab where you can easily track the opportunities and the keywords where you already have a feature snippet. So what are the opportunities where you can step there, and where are you already? And of course, if there are new, lost keywords, new on SERP, lost on SERP, so you can filter by this. Because we understand that the feature snippet is quite important to get a lot of traffic, so because it attracts a lot of users, so we've created this tab especially for analyzing feature snippet opportunities. If we're talking about new option in position tracking, then also we've added this option to add a business name, because sometimes when Google shows a local pack, then I think probably you know that we also track appearance in Google local pack or local map pack. Then sometimes Google doesn't show a link from the local map pack to the website, and in this case, if we want to track whether we are in this local pack or not, we need to enter here a business name, especially as it appears on the map pack. So for example, here you see there is no link to a website, it's empty, and we should enter this name, and in this case SEMrush will also check whether you are within local pack or not. So Google changed a little bit their algorithm, and then we decided to also to add this option here. Okay, so if you have no other questions, then I will ask you to answer this short poll. Just to understand what kind of subscription do you use, because it's really interesting for me. Okay, thank you. And if there is no more question, then in the end I'll just add that if you are interested in more customized or more interesting suggestion in your subscription, then you can contact at sales@semrush.com. So it's just a short gift that you sales@semrush.com here, and our account managers will help you and provide you with the better discounts, and we can customize your plan and suggest you maybe more interesting subscription that you have already. So just feel free to write there in terms of any questions. And remember that we have a customer success which works 24/7. So just if you have some problem with position tracking as Tabby has, just feel free to write customer success. And of course, the recording of this webinar will appear on YouTube, and you'll also get the letter with the link to this recording. So if you'll forget something and you want to refresh, you'll always be able to go there and look the recording. So thank you very much. I hope it was interesting and useful, and we'll meet again after the next quarter, because we'll have as I told you already, a lot of new opportunities, a lot of changes in the interface, and I really think that it will be much more interesting, useful, and we're really hardly working on it. So thank you. Enjoy SEMrush. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening, and goodbye.